Today we're going to be discussing what happened when I went to get our dining reservations for our trip in December, the Disney price increases, and some other little bit of Disney news. Hi, welcome to the continuing adventures of Two Gray Mice. I'm Meg.
And I'm Rob.
And we are Two Gray Mice. Hey folks, it's just me, one lone mouse this week. Rob is once again working. I have a strange feeling that this may become a pattern, that every other week you get just me. So on those weeks, I'm going to concentrate on Disney news or whatever's happening in the world. This week, we're a day late and a dollar short, as my mother used to always say. This should have come out yesterday, but I have a day job, which a lot of you may or may not know. I work at West Point, and which everybody probably knows, the government is currently shut down. So you would think that being on furlough would give me more time, not less. But you find that when you have more time, sometimes you shove more stuff into it. And that's what I've been doing this week. So I've been concentrating on my travel business, but I've been putting too much into it. And after last week's debacle with my computer, which I'm having problems with, and Audacity, and it took me so long to edit last week's, and I really feel uncomfortable doing podcasts by myself. I don't know why, but I do. So it just took me a little bit to actually get to do this. And this is actually the second time I'm recording it because, well, I recorded it the first time, and when I went back to edit it, it was awful. It was just awful. So I couldn't do it. I couldn't put it out there. So here we are, once again, trying to record a podcast by myself. I guess I feel more comfortable when Rob's here because then I feel a little less like I'm just kind of talking to myself. But we're talking to ourselves today. So what are we going to start with? Let's start with what's happening at Disney and what they did this week, or announced this week. A little bit of both, actually. This week, Disney announced that they're going to be changing Frozen Ever After at Walt Disney World. How? They're actually going to update the animatronics of Anna, Kristoff, and Elsa. If you've seen any of the video from the new Disney Fantasyland at Disney Hong Kong and the new Frozen ride there, the new Frozen World at Disney Hong Kong, the animatronics are amazing. They're real. The faces are real. They aren't projections. So we're finally, after 10 years, getting rid of those awful rear projection faces that they have in Frozen Ever After. I've never liked them. Disney has such great technology. I could see where they were going because trying to get an animatronic to look human and to make all those facial expressions has got to be extraordinarily difficult. But those projections are just awful. Now we just have to hope they get rid of the one in Buzz Lightyear spin because that's just awful too. He looked just creepy. It looks creepy when you're in the queue and he's talking to you with that kind of glow in the dark face thing going on. But we'll see. The other thing Disney decided to do was they gave us a quick preview of what the animatronic in the main theater area, Clawhauser, I always have a problem with his name. I have a problem with lots of words if you hadn't figured that out, is going to look like. He looks really cool. He looks kind of cuddly and soft, even though, if you touched him, he'd be hard and plasticky. But Clawhauser will be in the audience, probably where, if you ever saw Tough to Be a Bug, there was animatronics in the theater itself. Zootopia, Better Together, will be opening in November. So when Rob and I go down in December, we'll be able to see it. I'm very excited. Trying also not to say the word all the time, but we'll see what happens. Looking forward to seeing it. Looking forward to seeing what happens in that show. And if it's still a 4D or a 3D, I'm thinking it's just 3D. The 4D always it's just weird. It's just weird. Never liked Tough to Be a Bug just because it was creepy. The other thing they gave us was small hints about what's going to happen once Rock and Roller Coaster does the switch over to Muppets. They gave us the poster that they're going to use. They're going to Muppetize the queue, the pre-show scene. They're going to have a scooter animatronic, maybe some more animatronics, and change the lineup a little bit. And it will be opening in summer of 2026. It will be closing in early 2026 to start this transition. And we will once again have Muppets back in the park. The last thing that Disney did last week was good or bad, depending on how you look at it. They finally released the packages for November and December 2026. For some reason, the past couple of years, they've been holding back on releasing those packages. I'm not really sure why. I know October is the beginning of their fiscal year. I don't know if they were doing it then, and they're trying to see how the year went to see what they have to do moving forward. But just kind of mark that in your calendars because October 1st, that first week of October, it happens to be when Disney likes to raise prices. And that's exactly what they did. And of course, it went across the board. There were lots and lots and lots of price increases for Disney restaurants, the snacks, the foods, a little bit here, a little bit there, across the board. And then a little bit of an increase in ticket prices, in some ways, a little more in others. Let's just talk about it really quick, because it's just strange to me. Well, I was expecting a price increase. I'm a travel advisor. You expect the price increases. It just seemed odd that this week they raised the prices when last week they gave us 2 great discounts from January or February all the way through early summer and midsummer. They're calling them spring discounts that start in February and end in July. That's 6 months of the year, 5.5 months of the year. That's a lot more than spring. So they're giving us discounts at the same time they raise the prices, which of course takes a little bit away from the discount. So hopefully if you had a discount or wanted to book, you booked last week. That way you avoided the price increase. If you had already booked, and especially if you booked with a travel advisor, I can guarantee, or myself, they already went in and they got you the discount, because that's what we do. That's the joy of having a travel advisor. But let's just quickly look at some of these price increases and how they affect how you're going to think about your vacation. If you want to go to Disney World, Disneyland, these vacations are becoming so expensive that in some ways, one, a Disney cruise line can be cheaper than going to Disney World, which was not the case in the past. 2, it could be cheaper to go to Europe with your family than it is to go to Disney, which seems crazy pants to me. I mean, I never went to Europe. Well, I never took my kids to Europe, but went to Disney World because it was less expensive and fun. I wanted to take them to Ireland. I wanted to take them to France, where Rob has family, but it was not financially sound. These days, it might be more financially sound to go to Disney in Paris than it is to go to Disney in Florida, which is crazy. But whatever. So Disneyland kept first of all, Disney has semi-dynamic pricing. It doesn't change once the year starts. Once they put it out there, they change it all at once. But what you pay for a 1-day ticket, 2-day ticket, 3-day ticket is based on the calendar day you buy your ticket, or what you use your ticket for. So your ticket you want to buy for Christmas Day is going to be a lot more expensive than the ticket you're going to want to buy for August 15th, random day. And that's how they judge how much to charge you. So the lowest price ticket to get into Disneyland was, and still is, $104. They call it Tier 0. Last year, they had the $104 ticket, and it was good for like 10-ish days. And they were random, and not always together. Next year, they're available for $26, which is a little more. Their highest price ticket, so the one you are getting for Christmas Day, Christmas Eve, New Year's Day, 4th of July, those holidays, those big times when everybody goes, hit my microphone, jumped from $206 to $224, which is almost a 9% increase. In between those two, the price increases were between 3 and 4%. Now, when you learn economy and economics, they always tell you that your average price of inflation is 4%. And that's what you should always kind of count on. We all know that doesn't work. Sometimes it's 2%, sometimes it's 8%. Right now, I don't know what it is, but it just feels like it's outrageous. It's, I guess keeping up with inflation. I know that they have higher wages to pay so that people in California can actually afford to work there and eat and live. But it doesn't make it any easier on us who want to go there for vacation. Magic Keys went up. The bottom rate one went up $150. Other ones went up about $100 a piece. The Magic Key for Disneyland is their version of an annual pass. Wow. Having problems talking today. At the same time, these were all of our price increases. They also released for California residents, who are a majority of the people that go to Disneyland. It's much more of a locals park than Disney World is. Disney World is much more of a go there and visit park. Not that Floridians and Georgians and the people right there don't go. It's just more people in California go to Disneyland than people that visit Disneyland. So they just released a 3-day park ticket for people that live in California. That's $83 a day. So that's almost $30 discount. I can do this. $93, $20 discount. And which is a great deal. I'm at $60 off. Family of 4, even just one person. That's a pretty good deal. So it's just on one hand, we're increasing the cost, and on the other hand, we're going to keep giving you discounts. Granted, you give me a discount of 25% off my rooms when you increase the room rate or you increase the ticket rate. Not as good of a deal. Now let's go on to Disney World. Oh, and the price for parking in Disneyland went up to $35 a day. The price in Disney World for parking also jumped up to $35 a day. Luckily, if you stay on property at a Disney hotel, Parking is free, whether you're at your resort or you drive your car to parks. Of course, never drive your car to Magic Kingdom if you can avoid it, because you don't get to park at the park. You have to park at the Ticket and Transportation Center and then take the ferry or the monorail. So unless you really love the ferry and the monorail and add that extra half an hour to your day, take Disney Transportation. So the top ticket for Disney World for that same 4th of July, Christmas Day, whatever the case may be, went from $199 to $209. So that bottom rate ticket has now passed the $200 mark. There are days, and also in Disney World, it's different for each park. So it's different for every day and every park. So Christmas Day at Magic Kingdom is going to be your highest rate. Christmas Day at Animal Kingdom is going to be less than Magic Kingdom. But for the first time, Epcot and Hollywood Studios are also hitting that top tier rate that Magic Kingdom usually has for itself. I understand Epcot. It's a great park. I love Epcot. You have all those festivals. Many, many people will go there when they can't get it, when they think Magic Kingdom's going to be too crowded, especially on the holidays. New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, their fireworks are awesome. Their Christmas International Festival of the Holidays is wonderful. That's why Rob and I are going down in December. At the same time, it's not Magic Kingdom. And Hollywood Studios right now is a disaster area. It's a disaster. It's not logical. Closed the Muppets area. They've closed the area by Animation Courtyard. What's going to be moving in there may be great, but it's not there now. So I don't want to pay the highest rate to go to a park that's confused. I don't think Hollywood Studios knows what it is anymore. So it's hard for me to figure out why they think people are going to want to pay that high rate for Hollywood Studios. So that happened. And then there was like a 4% increase when you kind of go down from there all the way through. So it's going to be more expensive, again, to go to Walt Disney World than it was. All the annual passes went up anywhere from $20 to $80, depending on your tier, which when your top tier is $1,600 now from $1,540, it's a lot. But you're also spending $1,500 or $1,600 on a ticket. That means you can go to any of the parks any day you want to with a reservation. The big jump that really is going to hurt the average human that doesn't want to wait online is lightning lanes. They also, that's dynamic pricing. They come out with that pricing about 20 days before the day. You buy it 7 days before you go down. And it's based on what they know is going to be happening already, because the park tickets have already been sold. So they already know how crowded it's going to be. And if they know that day is going to be crowded, it's going to be slammed between dining reservations and tickets bought, they can figure this out. They're going to charge the top tier rate for the lightning lane. Usually the top tier rate is Magic Kingdom. I think we're going to start seeing it more in Epcot and Hollywood Studios as well. For what? I don't know, but I already went on that rant. Magic Kingdom went from $39 being the highest we've ever seen to now they're saying it will be $45. So for me and Rob, that's $90. We bring the kids, it's $180 a day. Now, I don't think anyone should buy a lightning lane for Animal Kingdom. You rope drop the safari and you do Pandora at the very end of the day when the line's short and the land looks beautiful in the light. Hollywood Studios at this point, I might buy Rise of the Resistance, but I'm not doing lightning lanes really for me for 2 rides, Slinky Dog and Mickey Minnie's. That's it. I mean, Tower of Terror, Rock and Roller Coaster is going to be closing. What am I buying lightning lanes for? Epcot totally depends on how you want to do your day. If you're staying on property and you can rope drop, you have to truly rope drop. So your longest wait's going to be in the day waiting to get in, but you can get Frozen Ever After and Test Track done, or Frozen Ever After and Soarin', or Test Track and Soarin', or even probably all 3 without having to wait on lines too much and getting that all done before the infamous 11 o'clock hour when all the festival booths open. So personally, I would only buy lightning lanes for Magic Kingdom as long as I don't mind waiting on a little bit of a line for something I really want to see. That's just my advice as a travel advisor. Everybody has to do their vacations how they think they should be done. So those were the price increases that went into effect. It was just, I'm not sure. I think they often Disney will use price increases to try to control the crowds. They will also then use discounts to try to then increase the crowds. Now, next year, the first 6 months of the year, almost completely, starts in February, there's a 25% off your room if you are an annual pass holder or military. So you're going to get a discounted rate for your tickets when you go through your MWR, anything along those lines. And then there's a package for like basically 25% off your entire package of room and tickets. It has to be 4 days tickets. Can be more than 14. Much better deal. And it's still out there. There's going to be hotels that have already sold out. I checked yesterday, and Caribbean Beach only had preferred rooms left. What's also nice about both of these discounts is they're actually being offered for the first time in the campgrounds where they normally aren't offered, at the Skyliner resorts where they're very often not offered. Though I have a strange feeling it's a lot fewer rooms. Remember, when they offer discounts, they offer them for a set number of rooms. They don't tell us what that set number of rooms are, which is why as a travel agent, when a discount comes out, I immediately try to change your reservation like at 6 a.m. the next morning or that morning so that you get the discount, because literally by noon, a hotel or a resort can be sold out of that discount. So it's important to always book early. Remember, Disney only takes $200 as a down payment or deposit on your trip, which allows you to, 1, pay monthly if you want to, so it's not a big hit at the end, and 2, you can cancel up until 30 days before and you've lost. So that way, the earlier you book, if a discount comes out, you can then apply the discount, or your travel advisor can apply the discount, and you can save money. At the same time, I don't know how much money, sometimes it doesn't work, because if like last year, the price increase was big enough that when the discount came out, if a person had purchased before the price increase, the discount was less than the price increase. So it didn't work out. It was cheaper to stay where you were. So booking early is always the way to go to Disney World, no matter how expensive it's getting. It's really on your list if you are a Disney head like I am, like my husband is. So if you listened to last week's episode, you heard us talking about our Disney dining, the tour, how we planned out our entire trip, what we were looking to do when we were down there, and how we were going to approach it. This helps us figure out what dining we do want, what restaurants we want to go to. Now, of course, we go a lot more often. Being a travel advisor, when there's new things out, there's different priorities for me. I have certain things that I have to do and get done and want to look at. Also, well, being a Disney head, that's what I would want to do anyway. So those are higher on our list. One of the main things that was very high on Rob's list and also on mine was the Wild Africa Trek tour at Animal Kingdom. It was $300 and change for the two of us. So the first thing I had to do was write everything down. Of course, that was priority, what we wanted, where we wanted to go, and then book it. Tours become available 60 days before your first day on the park and the resort. Now, if you're staying off property, it's 1 day at a time. So your first day is your first day, and that's what you can book, only your first day. Second day, move on. If you're staying on property, then, and Shades of Green, I believe the Dolphin Swan, places like that, at 60-day mark, you can book your entire vacation up to 10 days. Okay. You would have to wait 1 more day if you had 11 days of vacation or 12 or 13. So 60 days before tour, going to book the tour. Tours are released at midnight. So 12:01 on your 60-day mark. I stayed up. Well, I tried to nap, but I didn't. I stayed up until midnight on Wednesday and got right on, got the tour that we wanted. They were going quick. So I was looking at which one we wanted, what day, because there were several days available. I picked Friday at 10:15 because I wanted it earlier in the day. I didn't want to end too late. We do have park hoppers. I wanted to be able to experience a lot of Animal Kingdom and finish the day out there and then be able to park up someplace else. So I was very excited. I did that on my Disney Experience app. When I did it, my entire vacation showed up. That's important when I talk to you about what happened the following morning. So then I tried to nap. I tried to go to bed. I did. Of course, you get a little, personally. Excited, I don't know. But it takes me a little bit to wind down after doing this. This was about 1 a.m. when I got to bed. At about 4:30, we have our senior dog, Molly. She's 16. She's basically in hospice at this point and will not be with us much longer, which is something else I've been dealing with all week. The sadness of it all got me up at 4:30, 4:45, because she needed some help. So at that point, I was awake. I wasn't going back to bed, but I'm now very tired. At exactly 5:55, I'm online, and I realized that, I'm refreshing. I'm on my thing, on my Disney Experience, on my computer. I'm just refreshing. I keep refreshing, but just in case I get dropped a little earlier. The first one I want to do is I want to find Beacon Barrel. It's going to be the hardest one for me to get, so that's where I'm going to start. I'm going to start looking for that. Now, my tour is on Friday, and our party is on Wednesday. So those are the only 2 time restraints I had. So I could get Beacon Barrel late on Friday. I could get it early on Wednesday. So that was going to be the basis of what I was looking for. And I start, when I do dining reservations, with the hardest one to get and the farthest day away, my 60 days. So my 65th day, 66th, 67th, because there may be someone who's only going for a couple days. There may be someone who's leaving during that time period. So the farther away you are from your 60-day mark, the better chance you have of getting those harder to get reservations. So at 7:01, I see Beacon Barrel. I'm all excited. But for some reason in my Disney experience, only the first day showing up, like I'm staying off property when I'm not. I refresh. Still the same. 5 hours earlier, 6 hours earlier, my entire stay was showing. Now it's not. All of a sudden, my reservation was not attached to my Disney experience. And then my computer crashed. So I took a deep cleansing breath and I moved to my husband's computer and I opened up his My Disney experience. And luckily, 1, his computer worked, and 2, our entire vacation was shown. So at that point, Beacon Barrel luckily was still there, and I got it for 2:00 on Thursday. So Thursday is now our Magic Kingdom day. Okie dokie. After that, I went to GO82 because I thought that would be the second hardest one. That one, though, I needed to get on Monday if possible, because we're hoping to do Ralph Macchio and the Candlelight Processional. That was close. It's not professional, at least. Processional. One day I will be able to say that word. Processional on Monday night. I was lucky. I got an 11:20 at GO82. Perfect. I would have preferred it later in the day, maybe close to when the fireworks go off. But Rob's never seen this show from the lagoon. It's better that he sees it from there than just seeing the firework part from GO82. The Candlelight Processional dinner that we hope to do at Beer Garden will not be released until the morning of October 14th. I'm hoping Disney IT can handle the surge of everybody who has from the 27th, 28th of November through December 14th. All those Candlelight Processionals, because they happen every day, who need dinner reservations are all going to have to get them on October 14th. It's not going to go well. I'm really hoping it's not a poop show, but we'll see. So my next thing was we were going to be I kind of thought we were going to need 2 days to do Epcot or a day and a half to do Epcot. We do have 4 park days and then the 1 party day. So I have a romantic lunch planned for us at San Angel Inn in Mexico in Epcot on Wednesday, the party day. It's inside the pyramid. It is a very romantic spot. You feel like it's nighttime because in the pyramid, it pretty much can be. Overlooks the little boat tour. I love my Three Amigos boat tour. And it was just something that was high on Rob's list. It was high on my list. So that's what we did. He was talking about getting Roundup Rodeo at Hollywood Studios. We decided not to do it. I don't want to have any kind of sit-down dinners, any kind of sit-down reservations before going into the party. We can go, well, if we didn't have park hopper tickets, we could enter Hollywood Studios at 5:30. Maybe if I could have gotten a 5:30 reservation, I would have done it. But the only reservations I could get were closer to party start. And I want to enjoy the party and see all the party shows and the sing-along and the Muppets and the ice skating dancers and the jazz bands. I don't want to be at a sit-down dinner, which is also why we did not get the sit-down reservations at the Hollywood Brown Derby for their special jazz thing. I'll probably try to hit the lounge up where you can hear it. It's just the way I like to do parties. I don't want to spend that much money on a party and then spend an hour and a half, 2 hours of it at a sit-down dinner. It's just not my thing. So that was Wednesday, right? So that gives us to Thursday, which is, once again, our Magic Kingdom day. We had the Beacon Barrel at 2:25 p.m. That was the best I could do. Actually, I think I could have gotten a really early one, but I thought it might be a little early to start drinking. Maybe? I don't know. Then I got a 6:30 dinner at the Jungle Navigation Company Skipper Canteen. Rob's never been there. I have. It is a wonderful restaurant. It is, at this point, the only restaurant I actually like at Magic Kingdom. I've never done Cinderella's Royal Table. I hear the food's okay. Gotten better. Not at those prices. I am not a fan of a price fixed menu. I want to be able to order an appetizer, an entree, and that's it. I'm not a dessert person, or an entree and a dessert. I don't want to be pinned into this price fixed system that doesn't give me any flexibility. The family style that you can get depends on the family style. I have no desire to go to Liberty Tree Tavern anymore. When it was still a la carte, I loved it. Don't love it anymore. I have no desire to go to Woody's lunch just because, or the Roundup Rodeo. Same thing, price fix. I have no desire to go back to California Grill since they went to price fix. It's just not the way I work. I just don't want to do it. I want to be able to order what I want and not get a little bit of this and a little bit of this and a little bit of this, and then only like one thing where I can get more of it if it's, family style, but that's just wasting food. It's just wasting food, especially since one of our family members, when we take the kids, is vegetarian. It makes it very difficult. Our last day is going to be at Animal Kingdom. At 10:15, we have the Wild Africa Trek that I got the night before, and then I got a 5:30 reservation for Yak and Yeti, which gives us enough time on the way out to see the wonderful show of trees, and then hopefully actually go over to Magic Kingdom and see fireworks. Though I can't remember if there's fireworks there Thursday or Friday. One day has it, one day doesn't, so we'll figure it out. Our last day, we actually have a pretty late flight out, so we are going to one of our favorite restaurants for brunch, which is Raglan Road. We get to see the dancers. We'll get a chance to wander around Disney Springs a little bit before taking the boat back to Riverside to pick up our luggage at Bell Services, hop in an Uber, and go back to the airport to come home, which will be sad because by December it will be winter here. Because 3 days ago it was 80 degrees here in the Hudson Valley. This morning I woke up to 31 and frost. Welcome to fall in New York. I love fall. It's beautiful. It's absolutely gorgeous outside, but I'm not looking forward to winter, which is why I always plan a Disney vacation in winter. So, folks, I hope this helped you. I hope I give you some hints about how to deal with Disney dining and when to be online. The easiest way of dealing with Disney dining is to hire a travel agent like me and have them do it for you. That's about it. Have a great week, folks. My name is Meg, and I am One Gray Mouse. Have a magical week. Thank you for listening to The Adventures of Two Gray Mice. We would love it if you could please leave us a rating or review wherever you listen to this podcast. Any questions, please reach out to us at meg@megandthemouse.com. For all your vacation needs at Disney, Universal, or cruise lines, please reach out to Meg at megandthemouse.com. Have a great week.